Hello, vudani here, and today I have a PvP video of my warrior. I am using a Hammer+Greatsword build, and this build was inspired by a friend of mine, also a guildmate, Analogus. He put up a video called Wombo combo, and the video should explain that pretty quickly, but you might have noticed this hammer and Earthshaker. That is the key. Earthshaker applies a stun, and once they're stunned, I have things that work well with stuns. And right now this thief is actually doing a pretty good job. Really good evade there. I don't know if he meant to do that, but he missed that stun. But I ran out because I didn't want to deal with those thieves, and I wanted to give some time for cooldown. And there's Earthshaker right into 100 blades, and that is without cooldowns right there. That's what you can do every 10 seconds with this build. And that's really the strength. Also, you can just imagine the amount of control the hammer gives you. With the short swap times with the warrior, it's just you're pretty much always in hammer, and while you're in greatsword, it's mostly to basically 100 blades and whirlwind attack, get some cripples in and whatnot, and then obviously you can also use the burst ability of the greatsword to give you extra crit. But that's not really necessary. Most of the time you want to be in hammer and just beating away at people and playing defensive until you can really get that burst. And one way you can assure yourself of getting that burst is being very aware of the enemy's buffs. That is incredibly key for this build. With the amount of guardians that have been in hot join matches, you really have to pay attention to opponents' buffs. If you see an Aegis, obviously you cannot open with Earthshaker. You're going to have to go in and hit him once, trigger that block, and here we see a Guardian. I don't see the Aegis, so I'm going to go right in with Earthshaker. Hit him with a stun, go into 100 blades, get a good amount of damage, but it looks like he has something to shorten the duration of that stun. So I go in with the rotation of the Greatsword and switch into Hammer, and teammate goes down there. Warrior and a Guardian are going to do that to you. I try to revive him, but I realize that I'm going to die, so here comes the Wombo combo. And 10k to the Guardian, 6k to the Warrior. That's pretty good. Guardian goes down, trying to finish off the Warrior. I'm really low on health. I started that engagement very low, and I'm not sure how that Guardian got up. Must have rallied from someone nearby, but I am down there. It was fairly close. So I got the Guardian down. The Warrior was very low, but just didn't really start that fight at high enough health. Or I took some damage with that whirl attack, and obviously 8k retaliation is gonna hurt. So you see me using Berserker stance, and that is actually really good for this build. I have 2 traits that facilitate my bursts, at least damage wise, and there I go, just finish these guys off. There's no really hesitation on using cooldowns with this build, because every 10 seconds you have your Earthshaker ready, and it really fits perfectly. You got 5-second weapon swaps and 10-second Earthshaker, so you can pretty much do the combo, open with an Earthshaker and switch into 100 blades, get them with that. Usually whirlwind attack, maybe a blade trail, maybe a charge, but once you get the hammer ready, you just switch back into that, and you have everything ready. You have your AoE knockback, you have your frontal cripple, you have your weakness, and you have your stun. And that's all on top of your 10-second cooldown, 2.3 second stun with the glyph. With the glyph I'm using on the hammer, it's a 2.3 second stun at maximum adrenaline. Here we go, hit him with a stun, going 100 blades. That's the Wombo combo. He went invis, but unfortunately he was stunned, and you can't mitigate damage being invisible. The Greatsword is going to cleave you right down, and that is actually something that happens a lot. You're going to fight a lot of thieves, and they're going to stealth a lot, but you really have to keep in mind that that thief probably didn't move. If it's stunned, thieves do not have very many stun breaks, so they're probably just invisible in front of you, so keep swinging. And right here, I 3v1. We got an Ellie, Guardian, and Warrior. This is a very bad idea. I saw on my minimap that there was one person here I figure maybe it's a 2v1 and what the heck, let's try this off. I hit that endure pain early and I try to finish him off, and eventually a fourth comes in. I probably wouldn't have killed it. If I had downed anyone, they would have revived anyway, but I did hold them there, allowing my team to hopefully get a better route in some of the other points, but a little cocky there. I probably didn't believe that I was going to actually win that fight. Just kinda showing, I mean, I survived a good amount. That was a fairly survivable moment, but that came from endure pain a bit. So here we go. We're gonna start off with a hammer and pop that berserker stance right away. You always want to be at full adrenaline, and with berserker stance that is incredibly easy to do. Here comes the earth shaker into 100 blades. Didn't pop frenzy. This is a 1v1 and not really afraid of a ranger. Here we go with pretty much all of my greatsword attacks. Hit them with the F1 there, and you'll notice I have a fury coming on. And go into the hammer, and there's not much you can do when you are knocked down. And that was pretty much nothing. That was just my normal damage rotation. He took me down to half. Didn't have to use my heal. However, Ranger, it's definitely a tough matchup for a warrior. I'll give him that. And here we go, right in with the hammer. I see a couple people up. It's obviously contested. Gonna open with Earthshaker. I don't see that Aegis. And I'm starting on the Guardian just because as you can see, that was probably a good idea. Down him right away. And notice my adrenaline already max. Earthshaker is ready. Gonna heal up, and here comes the Earthshaker on this necro with spectral armor up. Get the 100 blades in to finish him off and whirlwind out of there because I saw some people perched up kind of pegging me. This build, it doesn't have many things to fight against conditions. That is an unfortunate downside of this build. You have your heal, but that's about it. The focus is going to be controlling and holding out for burst damage. And right now I see this warrior, definitely a high burst possibility. He has the shield up, but didn't see anything to block that. He'll not going to break that stun, surprising. Looks like he's using sigils though, and there goes the blade trail into the charge, and I close that gap very easily. And right into hammer, hit him with my auto attack right here. Nothing, obviously my team showed up. No real point in blowing my stun or anything. And here's an elementalist. Looks like he's using a couple signets, might be dangerous. Hit him with the stun, hit him with frenzy, and not sure why I didn't crit there, but I suppose the RNG factor does come into account. And he's kiting me. I noticed real quick that he is in fact using a signet build, so he's gonna probably be faster than what most elementalists would, so I fall back, but then I noticed he is using a scepter, so I'm gonna try to get in right on him real quick. And I want to try to ride him, but he does have obviously good kiting abilities, and immediately notice a thief. Right when I see that, I switch 100 blades, but then the elementalist is back, so I'm gonna whirlwind attack out of there. I don't want to engage 2v1. I was already low health. There's the thief. Hit him with the earth shaker and blade trail the air, but guess what? He was in fact still there. Gonna dodge out of the way. Obviously low health there. Probably could have stayed on him and killed him quicker, but I figured the safe bet was to try to LOS to heal up there. When I do get this revive, I'll obviously regen some health, and he was pretty much screwed. I know my teammate was there. That elementalist was low, so he was probably going to win that 1v1. And I pop up here, and thief, not dead yet. Oh, the thief, always teleporting around. Very, very annoying, but, you know, if you can mitigate that burst, not that bad. Didn't do too fantastic there. I sacrificed quite a few points just roaming and whatnot, but you obviously can see the potential of this build. Very controllable, pretty good survivability. Not the best survivability. A lot of warrior builds have ridiculous survivability, and that has that in the forms of crowd control, and obviously every 10 seconds you get a massive damaging attack. And as always, I hope this video was helpful. If you have suggestions on what you'd like to see for the warrior next week, feel free to post in the comments. Let me know what you'd like, what you are interested in, and hopefully next week I'll give you something good. And thanks for watching.